Okay, folks, this is Doug Pinkham with Pinkham & Associates. I am going to talk about the FL 191, the Child Support Case Registry Form, and you can see the form up on the screen as I'm going through this video. So, I'm going to go through it line by line. It's a pretty simple, straightforward form, but let's go through it right now. All right, so let me get rid of some information that I had previously on here. Real quickly. Okay, folks, let's start at the top. Again, like every other form, it's asking for your name, address, telephone number. If you got a fax, you can include it. You don't have to. If you've got an email and you want to include it, you can. You don't have to. Then it asks for attorney for. If you're filling out the videotape, or excuse me, if you're filling out the form on your own, go ahead and write your own name in there. Then it's asking for the county in which you are filing your papers in and the address of the court. Put that in there. Then it's asking for the branch name of that court. And again, you can Google that to figure out what the specific branch name of the court where you're filing your paperwork, what it's called. Then, of course, the petitioner's name and the respondent's name. And just like I say on every single form, that name and number never ever changes. Sorry, folks. Let me fix that real quick. Okay. All right. So we're going to go down. If you are filling this form out and you are the mother, mark mother. If you are the father and you're filling this form out, mark father. If this is the first time you are filling out this form because this is the first time there is a court-ordered child support order, mark first form completed. If you are filling this out for the second time because child support has been modified and changed to a different number, you're going to put change to previous information. Then, of course, write the case number off to the right. All right, folks. There's a big box here that says that page 1 and 2 of this form must be completed and delivered to the court along with court order for support. Actually, it will tell you right below that that it needs to be filed within 10 days of any judgment or court order. I always fill this form out and submit it with court orders for child support or with my judgment because I know it needs to be filed 10 days later anyway, and I don't want to take a chance of forgetting it or whatever. So I get it done and I submit it with the rest of my paperwork. So keep that in mind. I would suggest you do the same. If you're filling out this paperwork in conjunction with or part of a judgment packet, fill it out and submit it with your judgment. Do yourself that favor so you don't have to come back and do it later. You can see I'm getting rid of this information. I'm doing it so that we can go over it together. All right, so we're going to start at the top where it says, well, here, let me get this done. I beg your pardon. All right. All right. All right, so let's start up here. Date order filed. Now, if you know what date you're actually filing this form, you can put a date in there, but you need not do that. The clerk can put in that date when they file it. I always leave it blank, just so you know. If this is, in fact, the initial order you're filing, you're gonna mark the box under B that says Initial Child Support or Family Support Order. If it is a modification to an earlier support order, you're going to mark the box over here to the right that says Modification. So let's act as though it's an initial court order, which let's say it's mother filling out this form and it's the first form, the initial form we're filing for the first child support orders going into place. If that's the case, I'm going to fill that out in that manner. Then we go down here to C1, child support. If the current child support amount is $653 per month, put that in there. If it's $27 a month, put that in there. Whatever the present child support amount is, put it in there. Let's say it's $500 a month. If, for example, though, you are submitting this as part of a stipulated judgment and you want the court, you're going to do zero child support at this time. You're going to agree that nobody's going to pay any child support, and you want the court to reserve the right to make orders with regard to child support later, mark reserved. If you're marking reserved, do not also mark zero, because what you're saying is the court is ordering zero. You can't have it both ways. Either the court is making an order that they're reserving jurisdiction, or they're making an order that it's zero child support. You don't want both. I get it. Reserved means nobody's paying anything, but they are separate orders, so only mark one of them. If you guys are agreeing to a zero child support order right now and you want the judgment to say zero child support order, mark that. I highly recommend, highly recommend, if you're filling out this form on your own, that if the support you're agreeing to is that there will be no support, just mark reserved. You should know that the court maintains jurisdiction over the issue of child support until the child reaches majority and is no longer a high school student anyway, so just mark reserved. All right. If there is, and this is rare, but if there is some other amount of child support, a monthly support that you guys are agreeing to, agreeing to, you know what, let me go back. I'm going to change this reserve to, let's say it's $500 a month, just for the reasons coming up. All right, so additional monthly support. Let's say, for example, you guys agree that the other parent is going to pay, or one of you is going to pay an extra $100 a month for whatever. It doesn't matter why. If you want to pay it as child support, you can. You could agree with the other parent that you'll pay an extra $100 a month, and that's the money that is used for ballet or swimming or soccer or lacrosse sign-ups or something, or equipment, and that's all you'll pay, and then the other parent pays for the rest of it. You could agree to something like that. And if that's the case, you could put that under additional monthly support. But you should be aware that if you put that in there, you're ordered to pay it. So be careful. If you're going to put that in there, make sure that you're okay with a court order that says that you have to pay it. All right. Total past due support. Let's say, for example, it's $500 a month, but you didn't pay for 3 months, and you owe $1,500 in back child support. You can put that in there. And then a payment on past due child support, you could say, we've agreed to me paying, or the other party paying me $100 a month to make up for that $1,500 that was not paid. Okay? And then family support, next item. And by the way, if there's no past support, then that'll be zero. If there's no support, arrears, you're not going to mark either of these, and you're going to leave these blank. If you don't agree to some extra child support amount, these will be left blank. And it just remains the regular standard $500 a month or whatever it is in child support. All right, folks, the next column is family support. I highly recommend that you leave this completely blank unless you know exactly what you're doing. Family support is a different animal altogether. If you think that you have a family support order or want a family support order or have heard rumor about what family support order is at Starbucks when you're getting your grande latte, get specific legal advice on that before you mark anything in this area. Done. That's all I'm saying. Next area, spousal support. So let's say you guys have agreed that the spouse is going to pay you $750 or that you're going to pay your spouse $750 a month in spousal support. Again, if neither of you are getting spousal support at this time and you want the court to reserve jurisdiction over the issue of spousal support and you want to be able to come back to court in the future to argue it later, reserve order is what you want to mark. If you are agreeing to a $0 spousal support order, you would mark 0. If you are the lower wage earner in a marriage or partnership, I recommend that you do not mark 0. Just reserved is better for many legal reasons, and you can talk to an attorney and get some legal advice on your particular case with your particular facts to understand that more thoroughly. But I'm going to go to the standard order. Let's say there is a spousal support order in place for, let's say, $750 a month. Okay? And there's no past due spousal support ordered, and you're not agreeing to some past due amount for a payment on past due support. Number 5, wage withholding orders, wage assignments come automatically with any child support order or spousal support order in the state of California. I guess you could probably stipulate that there would not be. I don't know that you can. You might be able to. But an order to collect child support and spousal support from the paycheck of the other party is automatic in California. It comes along with any order. So you can mark that and mark ordered because it goes along with any. If you want to leave it blank, you can leave it blank if you're not sure or don't want to. If you specifically got an order for a wage withholding, but it's stayed, in other words, they can't actually collect it or use a wage assignment to collect support until, let's say April 1st, 2020, then you could put that in there. Those orders are very, very rare. Very rare. It's only happened a couple times, and that they're for different reasons. So probably just going to mark wage withholding was ordered or nothing at all. Leave them both blank. Next line is very simple. The name of the person that is ordered to pay child or family support. So if you are the petitioner, you're John Doe, and you were ordered to pay, you're going to put your name in there. You are the father, so you're going to put father under relationship. Next one's real simple. It says who's receiving. Jane Doe's receiving, and she is mother. Very simple. So just fill those out appropriately for your case. And let's slide on over to page 2. At the top of page 2, put the petitioner's name and the respondent's name and the case number to the right. Then the next section is where you list the children. Make sure you complete. Okay, so let me give you an overview of this page. This page is all of the very specific information on both parents. You should understand that this form, the purpose of this form is to collect child support that was court ordered, and the state of California later needs this information to figure out a way to collect child support that's not being paid. That's what this form is for. So it needs to be filled out. It needs to be filled out completely. And when you sign this form, you're signing it under penalty of perjury that everything in here is correct. So you need to fill it out if there's a child support order, and therefore you also need to fill it out completely and correctly. All right, so list all the kidders' names here at the top, their dates of birth, and include the Social Security number. If you have more than 3 kids, you're going to mark this box here, additional children listed on a separate page, and then you're going to take a separate lined sheet of paper and just put attachment 4, and then attach it to that paper when we're finished and when you're ready to file it with the courts. All right, folks, the rest of this form is ridiculously simple and straightforward. It asks for specific information for each parent, and fill it out completely and correctly. Down here at the bottom, it says, it talks about a restraining order. So in your case, if there is a restraining order that is in place, you're going to mark 7, and then you're going to mark who's protected and who's restrained. So the order protects, let's say, it protects mother and the children against father, from father. And the restraining order expires on, if you have a restraining order, go look at the restraining order. Every restraining order has a date of expiration. Put that date in here. Okay, folks? And obviously, if you don't have a restraining order of any kind, get rid of all those and leave 7 blank. All right, folks, just like I said a couple seconds ago, this form is filed and signed under penalty of perjury. Right there it says, I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct. You need to understand that that's serious. Never, never, ever sign underneath that declaration unless the form is completed correctly. That's simple advice. Then date it, write your name or type your name to the left, and sign to the right. Thank you, folks. That is the support case, child support case registry form, FL191. I hope this video has been helpful for you. Thank you for watching my video.